Yes, people, what's going on? What's going on? Welcome back to the channel. As always, people, make sure that you lot are smashing up the lights. Make sure that you lot are subscribing to the channel. Like I keep saying, road to 10K. But people, we've got a new show on the channel, officially starting today. Was meant to start this a few weeks back, but trying to get everyone's availability at the minute has been a myth, man. You know, people have been quite busy in their life. Big up Matisse, because we started this show originally on his channel. Was meant to make it into like a more personal thing, but that never happened. So Matisse is quite busy with a lot of stuff for the Big Six and whatnot. But yeah, man, I thought, listen, we're in a group chat. We talk pretty much every day. I thought it was a good idea to still carry this on because we had something good going, man. But first of all, Alexis, how's it going, bro? Obviously, it's not your first time on the channel, but big yourself up, bro. You good?
Yeah, I'm good, brother. I'm happy Arsenal are out. I can't lie to you. Took immense pleasure for that. And like you said, we talk every single day nearly without fail. Someone's arguing with someone. It's always heated discussion. It's nice. So let's get it started.
100%, man. Obviously, Javon, you lot have seen Javon on the channel before. Big yourself up, bro. You good?
Yeah, I'm chilling. Shame about the Arsenal.
Shame about the Arsenal.
Champions of Europe, they'll never sing that. Champions of Europe, they'll never sing that. I'm ecstatic. Not just because Arsenal didn't go through to the final, but the level of football we've seen over the past 2 days. And we cook Liverpool on Sunday. It's a good week, boys. It's a good week.
Amazing, bro. It's been a good 2 weeks, to be honest with you. Some of these results have gone our way, bruv. You know what I'm saying? We'll speak up on that. Tobes, debut on the channel, bruv. What you say, man?
Yeah, man, I'm good. I was skipping around earlier, like the glow after Arsenal getting knocked out. It never gets old. It's never an old feeling. Like Tuchel did it last year. They did it this year, a bit later on. So like the heartbreak came later. The hope was more there. I liked how it went, where they got even them getting a goal back. Like it just gives them a bit of hope just to snatch it away. It was like it was everything you'd want from Arsenal going at crashing out. Really,
their hero turned into the villain by missing an open goal.
Yeah,
you know, like you just love it.
Yeah, it was lovely.
Bro, I'm loving it, bro. I'm loving it.
Like Javon said as well, we had a good week ourselves, and like even the last few weeks, it's been good. We've had wins consecutively. We got our players back. You know, the Lavias are coming back, etc. So it's been good.
100%, bro. And I'm glad that Alexis, comes with the data, comes with the facts and that on the timeline, because we already know that this fan base is full of toxic people and scaremongers and whatnot. But when it comes to the positive things about the club, it's not even being about toxic positive. It's literally supporting your club as you would as a fan, right?
Yes,
Instead of constantly bashing your club. It's facts right now, bro. Yeah. I saw Alexis posted the form table right now. We're the most informed team along Man City in the last 9 games, isn't it?
9 games, 6 wins, 2 draws, 1 less goal. We're second in goal difference by 1 goal.
No,
we've got 5 clean sheets in 9 games, which is wild. We've got Bob in goal,
bro.
Our good friend Bob.
I think injured Bob's been better since he's got this injury. He's actually been quite good, to be honest.
He actually has. And it's funny as well because I saw a video the other day of an American guy. I think it was his first. I don't know if you guys have seen it. It was his first time watching Chelsea, innit?
Yeah. I saw it.
Yeah. And he was like, "Oh, this keeper looks good." And I was like, "You've got no idea."
Yeah, he doesn't know the law.
100%, bro. But listen, let's talk about yesterday first of all, man, because these gooners have been in my ear for weeks. I don't know if you guys saw the tweet that went viral. Actually, first of all, big up everyone that's in the chat right now. There's 48 people here already, which is crazy. Before our game a little bit later on, but listen, right now there's been a battle of me and these fucking gooners. There's a tweet that went viral that I put up about Rice and the Bernabeu. Obviously, man got back-to-back man of the matches and that, so I got mudded there. But I said to them, I said, cool, I will be back. Yeah, I will be back because Arsenal, like Evra said, is like Netflix, bro. Yeah, the next season is always around the corner. You know what I mean? And Rice yesterday, absolute disaster class, bro. That whole midfield, in fact, yesterday got dominated most of the game, bro. Right? I know Arsenal, they started off quite well the first 20 minutes and that. You know what I mean? They were firing. It looked like they were going to score. You know, Martinelli misses a mad chance. They had some good opportunities really in the final third. You see them trying to do the Stoke ball and whatnot with the throw-ins and that. But overall, you saw how clinical PSG are in comparison to these guys. And I don't agree, Javon, at all with Arteta coming out saying,
we lose him?
Right, okay. I wasn't sure it was just mine.
Yeah, so it was mine. Guys,
So-
we lost the host, but we can
Well,
continue this talk.
okay, continue. While Dan is on a sabbatical, I think he was going to say.
I'm back.
No, he's back. He's back. He's
Okay,
back.
okay.
I'm back. Sorry, I was saying, yeah. I was basically saying, yeah, like for me, both PSG and Arsenal over the two legs, they both created chances, yeah. Even yesterday, like PSG created some good chances, so did Arsenal, right? But the difference in this game is they took their dinner, right? They had a big moment with Ruiz. That's what you expect in Champions League, bro. Big moments is what gets you over the line, right? They were better than them, bro. They were better than them.
Easily. Because if you look at the chance that Ruiz got, an average football is going to either try and head back into the box, or he's going to try to bring it down and strike it. What Ruiz did, he noticed defender coming. His touch took it around the defender to give him a clear path, swiveled his hips, and put it in the back of the net. What is upsetting about, or what is annoying about these Arsenal fans, Mikel Arteta specifically, why are you coming out and telling us you were the best team in the competition? No, the best team in the competition wins the competition. And that's just how it is. That's how it is. And then in the interview, the post-match interview, he goes and says, oh, I asked them. The lady said, oh, who did you speak to? Oh, everyone on the bench. That's a lie. That's a lie if I've ever seen one, as clear as day. There's nothing wrong with saying we lost to a better team today. And you know
that doesn't exist for them. That doesn't exist for them, though. It's always someone else's fault. It's always because of an injury. It's always because of the ref. Like, it doesn't exist that they go, do you know what? They're just better than us. Like the second that tie yesterday, because you brought up about the Stoke, the long throws, right? The second that football stayed on the floor, game was done.
Yeah,
like that, all they could do was launch it in the box. The second that ball was on the floor and you got Vitinha on it and João Neves, like, it was done. Game done.
The only thing I'll give them was the first 15 minutes because they had to start that way. Apart from
long
that,
throws, all
nothing. That. And the biggest I'll let Alex go after this. The biggest indictment of it is, do you know how much time PSG got into a 3v2, 2v1 and didn't finish?
Bro.
And that's why, personally, I don't think they'll win the entire thing. But on this game, they throw away too much clear-cut chances, and you just can't do that against better teams.
Bokola could have even scored 3 goals in these 2 legs. You know what I'm saying, Alexis?
All I'm going to say is, guys, PSG are what we could become once the players get confidence in their system. Because I don't believe their midfield is significantly better than ours. I think our midfield 3 can compete with anyone's up there with Lavia, Caicedo, and Enzo, and Palmer. I just think our wingers aren't confident. And you know, that Ruiz thing, a confident player tries that. Someone that's got ego and believes in himself. Our players aren't that confident at the moment. So maybe in November that one of them would have tried that. You know, that Enzo shot against Spurs. So for me, this is normal Arsenal. This is like status quo. I'm used to it with them. Like, it's been 21 years since they've won a league, and they still tell me, oh, we're a great team. Well, good on you. Enjoy your seconds. Like, now there's one more thing left. 2 games for Liverpool and Newcastle to do the business with them. And somehow they end up 4th. Bro, and then we'll be talking.
Imagine if they finish outside of it. I think it's like they've got to like drop points to Southampton for that to happen. I can't remember the exact amount of points it is, but
they need 3 points to secure 5th, like higher than 5th guaranteed.
Listen, if Arsenal simply has finished below us, it's gonna be a long day. I know man like Dan, Matisse, they're gonna run rugged and good. You guys are gonna run rugged on the timeline.
Absolute rugged. You know me, I'm a troll. You know what I mean? Like, when I want to talk football, I can talk football, but I'm on the timeline and I absolutely troll these guys because all I do, I go fishing. And every time I go fishing, I leave with pods, I leave with octopus, I leave with squids, all types of fish that I leave with, bro. You know what I mean? And these guys are just there behind their phone typing away, and I'm just laughing to myself. You know what I'm saying? You can find tweets of me from 2012, 2013, cooking these guys the same way, bro. That's just how I am. You know what I'm saying?
The same thing with I had the same thing with the Rice stuff because I remember made a tweet to do with basically saying I don't think he can lace Casado's boots. And then weeks later, because they like their bookmarks, don't they? They like to save them because this is their big trophy thing to quote tweet people. And I think Elon's got rid of quote tweets because I haven't had anything for like the last week. The PSG game, I didn't get anything. I don't know what happened. They must have lost like all their bookmarks, but they disappeared.
Ballon d'Or silent candidate Declan Rice. I was like, oh. They're like, when we win the Champions League, it's got to be him. Who else?
No,
I was like,
well, I was getting told off because I think my response was, I was like, I've seen Alex score free kicks. Like, doesn't mean he's not a centre back. Like,
Yeah.
you know,
And I was literally saying that, and the thing is, I wasn't even hating on these guys because I gave them their prop for beating Real Madrid. Because end of the day, it's Real Madrid, isn't it? But let's be real.
Yeah.
When I broke down them as a team, for me personally, I actually predicted that Real Madrid would beat them because of their attack. I never said much about them as a team because I've been watching them as a team and they're not great. But it's their attack where I thought, over Arsenal, they should beat them, innit? Mbappe, Vinny, whatever, they should overcome them. But Arsenal did well. You know, Rice did well in both those legs. But I personally said, bro, I'll give these guys more respect if they can beat PSG because I actually rate PSG as a team. You know what I mean? Not as individuals. I rate these guys as a team. And again, I was proven right, bro. Like, I expected...
He expected a bottle job, and it's exactly what we got.
Even probably 3-goal margin, I'd say.
He's back.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, comfortably. Like that, mate. That Kvara. Whenever I watch him,
bro,
I can't believe he was unrivaled. Like in January, I don't know. I think we all said it in the group chat. Like because we all knew Mudryk, whatever. I don't know what's happened to that guy, but like, why are we not putting something in for this guy? He's just a wicked player. Like the job he had to do.
Codes is the money. Codes is the money.
I know, but it's like less on who is it? Amagu. More
Amagu.
Yeah.
Yes, and
like,
Matisse.
But like that, Kvara would just. You just look at how he's elevated that PSG. Obviously, he's not just it. I think João Neves, him, and obviously the coach has taken a bit of time. But those two signings have just lifted them that little level where they're not very PSG anymore, or like the PSG they were.
But that's literally what we need, isn't it? Like I think we say
a couple first teamers.
Yeah.
We always say a centre back like Kvara, number 9 like Kvara, and all of a sudden this team we're talking about maybe 10, 15 extra points. Those draws get converted into wins.
And that's true because if you look at another effect of Kvara stepping through the door, guess who gets pushed to the middle? Dembele. Dembele's I've said this before. Yeah. Dembele's attribute shows that he should be a D-man winger. But when you put him in the center of the park, it shouldn't work. But it's working. He's getting by people in the middle of the park. He's laying the ball off. He's holding up the play well. And he stretches that pitch. So maybe if we had someone that can come in and have the same effect, maybe a different position, you'll start seeing the best out of Neto, his crosses. You'll start seeing the best out of Sancho. His link-up play will increase because he'll have that reference point. And he'll get the best out of Madueke. Loving Madueke at left wing, by the way.
Hey, you know what I mean? And listen, people, we've got 93 people in the house, man. You know, make sure that you're smashing up the lights. Mods, love for making people know that they should smash up the lights as well. But Alexis, bro, like, how are you feeling now with the last few games that we've got left, right? Because for me, a few weeks ago, I was not confident. Even when we came up against Spurs, bro, I was not confident. And the main reason why is because we just weren't scoring goals. But right now, we've beaten Fulham. We scored 2 goals in that game. You know, Ipswich, we should have beaten them. Again, the amount of chances that we had. But, you know, we luckily didn't drop points there. We come back from 2 goals down. And then obviously against Everton at home, I thought that was a very professional performance. We beat them. Jackson was clinical. So there's actually some goals that are being added into this team and we're getting over the line. How are you feeling with the remaining games, bro?
Man, I'm ecstatic. And the reason being, after that Ipswich draw, I genuinely felt it was over. Like, I was broken. Like, I went on the stream. Normally, I'm so calm. Like, after we drop points, I always go, this happened. I lost my shit. And it's because I was so positive we were going to win that game and the way things transpired. But slowly but surely, they've got confidence back in them. That Fulham, that Neto winner, if we go on to win the Conference League this year and maybe a Club World Cup and make top 4, in years to come, we could look back at that moment and say, you know what, that could have saved Maresca's job or like was the turning point for Bluco. Because that Fulham goal game was horrible for 60 minutes. And then Tyree gets his goal and we're just a different team. Like, I feel like Pope said it before we started. If anything was going to get that engine going, it had to be that moment. And it felt like it was that moment. And since then, I just think we've been professional. We've been well. That Everton performance for me, 1-0. but it didn't seem like a 1-0. Yes, our goalkeeper made a save that he should have, like, a great save. But that's what you pay your keeper.
Two saves, bro.
Yeah, like, and we're just, I feel like we're a good team. Liverpool was a great performance. The atmosphere at Stamford Bridge, the fan, you know, when they scored, it was louder than when we scored our 2 goals. Like, I was so happy with the fans. Like, they were like, come on, Chelsea, come. Like, we're going to see this out. And I felt like the players responded. There was one moment in the game as well. You know, when Jackson got subbed, he done the walk around. The love he got from the crowd after that pathetic performance, was so, like, you could see it meant to him a lot. And I think stuff like that is key for us to get through and make top 4. Because I think we're making top 4.
100%, bro. 100%. You're fine with that. And Tobes, I'm honestly feel like right now, like a lot of people are actually forgetting the role of what a fan is, right? I feel like there's so many people right now in this fan base that honestly want the team to fail. They want Maresca to fail for their own agendas rather than being proven wrong. You know what I mean? Like, for me personally, I did not fuck with Gallagher, bro. But I was so happy that he was proving me wrong, right? I got to the point where I was like, bro, this guy's playing well right now. Give him a new contract and keep him as a squad player. I don't mind that as a squad player. But starting him week in, week out, it's a problem. But there's so many people in life that just can't be objective. They can't be balanced. Once they've made up their mind about something, that's it. Like, it's like, yo, you know, we win a game, they're quiet. It's the same. It's always the same faces. We win the game, they're nowhere to be seen, right? If we had dropped points to Liverpool in this game, regardless of them being drunk or whatever, it would have been a shit show, bro. How can you beat this team that are on the beach? You know, they look at the midfield that they started. We've got a midfield that are worth this much. They create all these chances and still can't win, right? Like, speak on these people with Tobes, man, because right now everyone should be together trying to support the team to get over the line, bro.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's just like people have a desire to be right. You know, people would rather be proven right and not get what they actually want. But then you kind of think, is that what they actually want, or do they actually want to be right? Do you know what I mean? Whereas for us, like you said, you're a bit more skeptical on Gallagher. Likewise, during this more recent spell, I'm more skeptical on Maresca. I'm sitting there going, the subs, I'm not getting this. The team selection is not selecting these players, whatever. But after Ipswich, like Alexis mentioned, it was like this. No way they're getting Champions League because we're playing too poorly to get the results. Even in the running we had, we knew we had a tough run in. But like if we get Champions League, it's because we've gone for a really tough run in and got really good results. So at that point, even if you're the most I doubt this guy person, surely there's an element of you going, that's quite hard to do, and he did do that. Like, that's something that is impressive. That would be the most impressive thing he's done, even when we were flying in, you know, October, November, December. Like, if you can tell me after that Ipswich game, when I thought it's done and we're not playing well enough, to then go and get top 5, having beaten Liverpool, regardless of whether they're on the piss, we actually played them off the park anyway, to be honest. I think if we played like we did on Sunday in all our games the rest of the season, we'd be walking away with 3 points from every ground, if I'm honest. I really do think that, because I watched Newcastle against Brighton. They look like they're shaking. They were a bit lucky not to concede a penalty and lose that game, to be honest. But
yeah, man.
Like,
if we go, that ref wanted Brighton to lose so badly, bro. How can man give three penalties?
Yeah, he was like he was so eager, and also the dive, the Jacob Murphy, was it not Jacob Murphy, rather. Willock dived, and it was like it was the most obvious dive. Like, even when it looks on the eye, it looked like a dive. But regardless, like the fact that we beat Liverpool, we haven't beaten under this ownership we haven't beaten top 6 side, but you know what I mean, like a Liverpool, an Arsenal, or a City. We hadn't beat any of those. Done that, regardless of the.
We haven't beat a property, Tobes. A property.
Right, exactly. And then away from home, if we were to go to Newcastle away and get a result, like a win or even a draw, but it's a tough game, that's a big point. And then they got, and because if they get Champions League, even if they drew at Newcastle, they have to like win at Forest. If you're doing those things, you're showing a bit of steel. You're showing that they are fighting for the club. And like, I don't know how anyone couldn't buy into that if we are to go on and do that. You know?
Yeah,
what I mean,
100%.
But people want to be right.
100%, bro. You're spot on with that, man. And Javon, look, what have you thought? You know, what for you? What's actually sort of impressed you in the past few games? Because you're someone that me and you have gone back and forth about Maresca. Obviously, we were speaking about Flick the other day, and for me, I was like, listen, Flick, I rate what he's doing with the Barcelona team and the goals that they're scoring. But when I'm watching that high line being persistent, I'm like, bro, you need some top athletic defenders to deal with that system, bro. Because the way these guys are up and down, you need guys that can handle it, bro. Stamina, the physicality, the pace, You need all of these things, which means that you ultimately need a top defender. You know what I mean? And obviously, look, we've spoken about Maresca. You've criticized him a lot this year. You've crashed him a lot, and so have I. But what have you thought about him in the past, few games? Like, are you starting to kind of swing towards him more, a little bit more, or are you kind of like, let me wait and see? Because he's been up and down this season. Let's be real. He started off well, had a little drop-off point, and now he's picking it up again. And for me, it's no coincidence, bro. Since Lavia came back, especially as well, we've been a lot better.
Yeah. So let me address it by saying first of this. I've been supporting Maresca since the start of the season, and I've sort of supported him through. When I gain new information, that's when I make a decision. And earlier, when we drew against Ipswich, that was just a non-negotiable for me because they're already relegated. Everybody else in the team has whooped this team. We played them twice and we only came away from 1 point. So from that perspective, that's unacceptable, and I will never rewalk that. Right. Firstly, shout out to Willie Caballero because he got the winning run going against Everton because I was not expecting to beat Everton. I'm gonna keep it real. Shout out to Willie.
Yeah.
But I think what he's unlocked, and I think it's more geared towards him trying to perfect his system. The inclusion of Lavia has unlocked the freedom of the attacking players. And I think one thing he clocked that he's changed over the past couple of games, we don't have to always dominate the ball. It's okay to set up a low block at times because we have those players. And how do I come about this? Remember in the start of the season when he gave an interview saying he doesn't want the back and forth game, the basketball game. When he's talking about not being able to handle transition, it's not us going forward. It's simply us. How do we handle transition again? Transition being against. How do we defend that transition? And the defenders we have at the time, and I think he clocked it, and I'm linked to it, the defenders we have at the time just couldn't handle us being transitioned against. Because if you look at what Colwell was doing, Fofana started, but then he broke down. We just couldn't handle it. So now with the inclusion of Lavia, that takes so much pressure off that transition because of his natural ability of being press resistant. That coupled with Caicedo being the only natural person in this team, apart from Kukurea, that knows how to invert from that fullback position. 3 right backs not being utilized simply because they cannot invert properly. So with Caicedo having an understanding of when to step into midfield, it frees up the likes of Enzo to box crash, Palmer to do what he does best, and the wingers to do what they do best. The only thing I didn't see coming from the whole system change was Noni left wing. And boys, I'm telling you, we have a player in our hands on that left-hand side.
Not being the minority, I didn't like it.
It's you see that change there, bro, yeah? Listen, I did not see that coming, bro, because the first time we saw it was when we played Ipswich, when we lost to them away. Remember Madueke came off the bench, left wing, right? And he came on, and it wasn't really long for me to really judge, but I was like, that's a mistake Maresca's made there. Why is he bringing him on the left? But he just seems so comfortable there, Alexis. Like, he can go in and out, he cuts in. The only thing about it is he cuts in on his right foot, which is his weaker foot, and he's shooting. But obviously, it's not his stronger foot in it. But that should improve his weaker foot there, But ultimately, bro, like even in the tight areas, I'm seeing man actually doing a bit of Jogo Bonito, bruv. And I'm like, yo, this is mad. This is mad, bro. It's not just the same running down the wing, cut in, try shoot. Like, it's unpredictable what on the left-hand side. It's very unpredictable on the left. You know what I mean?
It just looks awkward to me. Like, so I'm going to pass this to Tobes because he's going to be positive most probably about it. I'm going to be very negative. So Tobes, take it away. Be positive.
No, I like it. I like it a lot because it reminds me. I mean, I used to like when Duff and Robin used to always be. We'd play both of them, so one of them would be on the left side anyway, and they're left-footed. But he reminds me more in terms of how he plays because he's a bit more tall and awkward to deal with. Sane in his first couple of years at City.
Yeah.
Like, I loved watching Sane at City. He's probably one of my favourite players outside of Chelsea to just watch when he was good. But he reminds me of that because he's lethal on transition. He weaves in and out, and he's awkward to deal with. Like, Noni's a big guy for a winger. He's not slight. He's not easy to push off the ball.
Yeah.
And like you said, he should improve cutting in. And also, I'm quite excited because with Esteval coming in, obviously everyone's excited about Esteval. We don't know how good he'll be. Obviously, he's only a kid, but there's a bit of a worry there. I think that's been lingering over everyone where you kind of think Noni's probably going to be out the door at some point.
Yeah,
maybe they're going to look to cash in on Noni. So this idea now that, in my opinion, I think certainly this season, Noni's been Chelsea's best winger, I'd say.
Yeah,
or you feel he's going to score a goal more than the other guys.
True.
So the idea to have him on the left now as an option means that they could coexist. Even if, I think Neto's picked up form. I actually think Sancho's picked up form. So if they're all firing, great. But it's nice to know now, like, okay, we can put him on the left as well, like depending on the game.
Yeah.
And I think of like Kieran Trippier on Sunday, and I think Noni should have him on toast.
Oh,
well, apparently he's not fit. That's what I saw from Dills. Big up Dills. He said it. He said Newcastle. Let me put his comment up as well. Big yourself up, Dills. I hope you're good, my bro. Wait, let me bring it up here. He said, because I know they're missing Joe Linton, so Newcastle don't have Joe Linton, and apparently Shaw and
what about the Cobham boys? Are they playing? Because they're the problem.
I think Hall's been out for a while, isn't he?
Yeah,
he's been out for a while because
he's been out for a minute. Let me go.
Livramento will be there, but
Alexis, can I get your thoughts?
I want to hear your take.
Yeah, I want to hear it.
I don't like it, and I'll tell you why. I feel like Noni's his stature, he's like 6 foot 6'1", so he can impose himself on fullbacks really well. And I think one of his strengths is running with the ball, cutting in, and taking shots. I like wingers that shoot. And I feel like we're taking away one of his best strengths by having him on the right. Yes, we're seeing the more link up, and I feel like his game's more, he thinks more on the other side. So it's more measured and it's more secure. But I kind of like the edginess of Noni, where he gets a space, shoots, or puts a in-swinging cross in. I don't know. I just feel like with Noni there, I always pictured when it clicks for him, 13 non-penalty goals in 35 games in the Premier League could be a reality. And that's a great return, right? So I like the option of him on the right. But I think long-term, I want him... No, I like the option of him on the left. But long-term, I want him on the right.
The thing is, though, Alexis, don't you feel like, for me, I don't know what it is, yeah, like, when he's attacking the box on the left in comparison to the right, I feel like he's more of a threat to get more out of something, like, to win a penalty, to, like, link up with someone else, to, like, you know what I mean? Because even last season, listen, I don't fuck with Sterling, and I'm sure you guys probably didn't fuck with Sterling anymore, right? But we had a lot of penalties last year because of this guy, bruv. He used to win a lot of penalties for us. And that's something that this team right now, we don't get a lot of pens, bro. Like Palmer this season's only taken 4, I think it is, and he's missed one of them.
Took 9 last year.
He took 9 last year, bro. So in the box, we're not winning a lot of penalties. There's not our wingers, they get around the edge, they get around the box, they just get tackled, or they'll just kick it straight into someone. So on the left, I actually feel like it's a little bit harder for defenders to mark him. I feel like on the right, the word that I'm using right now is quite predictable, bro. It's quite predictable. Like he can learn new things, but I feel like all he really does is go on the outside, run down the line, and most of the time he just no end product, or he will cut in, take so long to shoot, and the chance is gone. You know what I mean? I feel like he's actually a bigger threat on the left. I'll be real. From what I've seen so far, he seems to be a bigger threat on the left right now, bro.
Yeah,
because I'm open-minded.
Yeah, because I think he's a bigger threat because he has to lean on his natural ability to dribble and to get by people and to have that little silky touch. It may look like a weird silky touch, but he had that silky touch on the ball. When he has to rely on that more, then that can develop his end product because he's saying, okay, at the end of this, I have to come up with something.
Yeah.
And seeing him dribble 2, 3, 4 Liverpool defenders and then then having the nice 1-2 with Kukura and almost putting it in that far post makes me see he's seeing a bigger picture. He's seeing the game bigger, other than just pick it up, dribble, get by my man and shoot. Now I'm actually I have to understand what patterns I play to carry out here, to execute here in order for me to get into the best position, whether to get it on my left foot or start to use my right foot. And if I know that my right foot is not my strong foot, I have to get it in a clearer position to take a cleaner shot. So that can develop his game more to then, once he's good at that, then you put him back on the right if needs be. So it could putting him in this position could just be the best thing for him for his development wise.
No, 100%, bro. I think for me, listen, you can never go wrong with learning to play on both sides, especially at this age as well, innit? You know, because injuries happen, form happens. Tobes, what were you saying about the left-hand side right now? Because obviously we've got this Sancho thing right now. We don't know if we're going to keep him. For me personally, I would keep him, bro. I don't think you can get many players at that level for 25 million. Because let's not even forget as well, Sancho is usually available, bro. This guy is never, if he's out of the team, it's normally because he's ill. You know what I mean? He's very durable, bro. He plays, you know, he's not someone that I want to see in every single game, but you bring him off the bench, like against Liverpool, you bring him off the bench, the guy nearly scored. He nearly scored, bro. Like Enzo nearly set him up. He nearly scored. He was retaining the ball quite well for us. And for me, against low blocks as well, he'll be key because he likes them little underlapping passes and the little, you know, he can win penalties as well, and he can play those little smart passes and whatnot, you know. So I would personally keep him, but then that means you've got Tyreek George, you've got Sancho, obviously Noni who can play off the left, and then we know that we're looking at a left winger right now as well, right? So what do you want to do, bro? Like, what would you do on that left-hand side, man? Because it is a bit of a predicament.
Yeah, it is. He's a tough one to judge because it's like, I'd say the last 4 or 5 games, it's been a bit, whoa, where did that come from again? Like, it's kind of like his last 5 games were kind of his first 5 games, but then that patch in the middle, you're thinking, nah, send him back. So I'm a bit on edge to judge him completely, but like, I would say, I think when Caicedo plays and he's the one inverting, Cucurella doesn't come inside as much, so he'd be that overlap, and he's better with that. Like you said, he needs runners around him because he hasn't got the burst to beat his player enough. But what's frustrating more with Sancho, if I'm honest, is that when he plays a bit more loose or like confident, he has enough skill to beat his man, even if he hasn't got the pace. He has enough skill to create separation and get a shot off, but he doesn't shoot enough. And we saw against Ipswich. We saw against Spurs, like he's capable of having, you know, he can change a game, but he doesn't do it enough.
Have you seen his last 40 shots, Tobes?
Yeah.
They're not bad.
They're not bad, but do it more. There are so many times it'll cut inside and you go, shoot. And he turns around and goes back because you go, no, I don't care about keeping the ball. Like, you can have a shot. When you create that separation, you've done the hard bit. Let it fly. I don't care. I back you and back yourself, you know? But that's where he'd frustrate me more in the recent months, where it'd be all the backward stuff. I'm like, no, like that's where. So he's a weird one to judge, to be honest. I'm kind of on the fence. I want to see how the rest of these games go. If he's sitting there turning up at St James's, then I'd be a bit more inclined to sign him, I think.
I hear it, man. Big up Josh for this comment. It says it's no coincidence that his tough run of form was when Jackson was out. Sancho needs a striker to get the best out of him. And Alexis, that's a very good point that Josh makes, because we love to talk about Neto, who's actually improved this year, to be honest. 2025, he's actually been quite good for me. I think he's been good, right? But we talk about how Neto, when we get a striker, but then I don't really hear many people saying this about Sancho, bro. And it's like, this guy's best time came at United when he had Ronaldo. His best time at Dortmund was with Haaland, right? This is a guy that thrives off of a target, man. You know what I mean?
I didn't notice how good Sancho was until I saw him live.
Oh, he's when you see it live, it's nice.
I was so impressed. Like, genuinely, it was the first time I've seen Sancho play. And I was like, bloody hell, he's literally got the ball like on a string. And he was taking the mick of Conor Bradley in the corner.
Do you remember that touch, Alexis, before you carry on? Yeah, that touch against Fulham where Neto whipped it across and it went up in the air and Sancho just brought it down. Bro, seeing that shit in person was mad. It was mad, bro.
He's just an unbelievable talent, but that's the annoying thing. I don't want to get sold a dream and a standard that he can't maintain.
Yeah.
Because, like, now in my head, this is the Sancho I want to see. The Sancho I saw for the last 7 games. And the Sancho I saw against Bournemouth when he came on. You know, like, the problem is, the minute his contract season's done and he's with us like on a permanent, basically, is he gonna just revert back to type and just go, oh, and we're like, oh, we don't like Sancho anymore. Why is he playing? Because the talent's there. It's just the matter of having him express himself and having him confident. Maybe a new striker would get the best out of it.
Guys, I genuinely believe if we had that target man that is actually going to convert the chances put on his plate, Sancho would be a totally different player.
Totally, bro.
He kind of reminds me. It's a bit Willian though. Do you know what I mean? Where Willian would have these patches where you go, where has this come from? Why can't you do this a bit more regularly? And then he'd have a stretch where you think, oh mate, get rid. But he was still a good player. Like, William was a good player for us, but sometimes he'd be so frustrating because you knew how good he could be. And I find that with Sancho, where I'm like, I've seen you single-handedly grab that game away at Spurs. I know that's there, but you need to show me that a bit more.
Yeah, so, I think again in 2025, bro. I think after that, when I always use this, I always use the Brighton games as like a little benchmark of how bad we was, right? That little period where we played Brighton twice in a week and we lost to them, you know, that period there just stunk. Cole was stinking, Sancho was all over the place, Maresca was all over the place. Like, that was the worst period of our season, right? For me personally. But I think in recent weeks, he's been one of our, I'll probably say, top 3 performers in the team right now, bro. Like, in terms of how he's been playing, you know, running at people, taking more shots, you know what I'm saying, scoring some vital goals. creating chances. Like, I know it's the Conference League where he's got some GA as well, but end of the day, if he wasn't putting any numbers up in the Conference League, people would be saying, "Oh, he's not even. You can't even do it there." And for me, I'm like, when I watch Sancho in there, I'm like, this level is too easy for this guy. I watch him in there, and it's like, remember that game we played against that German team? Man just came on off the bench. He's putting it through his legs. He gave that assist to Mudryk as well. And Mudryk got that mad goal, right? I look at him in the Conference League. I'm always like, this level is too easy for this guy. It's honestly too easy for this guy, bro. You know what I mean, Alexis?
So I've got a question for you guys then. So if the consensus here is we'd be willing to give Sancho another chance, right?
Yeah, for 25
like,
million.
If it's 25 million, yeah. You see, I'm like Tobes. I'm not sure yet. And the reason why I'm not sure is Neto, Madueke, Estevao, Sancho. Where's you're not going to have a fifth winger.
George, what do you think happens with George?
Pure profit.
Yeah, exactly. No, I think they
I think they loan George to like Strasbourg.
Well, to be honest, do you know what wouldn't surprise me? If Frank comes up with Coventry, if he went on loan there, that wouldn't surprise me, to be honest. If he did something like that, we helped him out before.
True.
Yeah.
But do you think we're going to have 5 wingers next year?
No, I'm looking at it going, can we? If Sancho, look, if it's not an awful deal, I'm just looking at going, but why don't you test? I know he played yesterday, but Barcola doesn't always start. Can't you test them? Like, can we not show a bit more? Because would you rather have Barcola or Sancho?
Yeah, agree.
I'm not saying they'd sell him. Do you know what I mean? I'm just saying, okay, would you rather have Leao or Sancho? Like, there's multiple players where I kind of think, would they offer you a bit more than that? Are we settling?
But any one of those players you listed, all right, let's take the names out of it. Just let's say a left winger. They're still going to need that reference point up front. So that's why I'm
agree. That's priority number one.
That's what I'm thinking. Like, I could easily go either way, new winger or keep Sancho. But the priority should still be that striker that they can use as a reference point. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. So, and if you do get that striker, then the answer is easier. It's going to be way easier, the striker, the type of winger you go off of. And if you're going to go off of someone like Bino Gittins, keep Sancho. I'm just saying. If we're going to go off
I'd agree with that.
Keep Sancho.
I just think having a profile like him in the team, right, is having a good tool, bro, in the box, like, because again, off the bench when you're up against certain teams, you need someone to be able to just slow down the game, start it again, a bit of a dictator. Sancho does that well, bro. Like, that's one thing about him where it can be his strength and it can be his weakness at the same time, because he knows how to retain the ball. He knows how to bring others into play. He knows how to, just switch it on, right, and change the pace of the game. That's what he's very good at. Technically, he's one of the best like players when it comes to his technical ability, right? But in terms of like running at people, you're looking at more the Bacolas, the Leaos, and the Georges. They're the more direct wingers. But for me, 25 million, bro, someone like him, I can't think of anyone better, bro. Like, that's gonna come in and be happy to be a squad player.
But don't look at it as 25 million. My issue is when you look at it as 25 million, you're almost capping us in what we could. Like, we could just pay 5 million to get out the deal and then actually go and get someone who could take us to the next level and be competition for our left wing. I just don't want us to sign him because it's a bargain.
Yeah, actually, but hear me out. Spend the 25 mil, go get the lap, and then go get another striker. 30 mil, 90 mil and 2 strikers. Hear me out. What we saying? Chat, what we saying? 90 mil and 2 different strikers?
Boy, I was being asked this question earlier. Nina was saying she don't think that's realistic. She don't think that's gonna happen.
No, I don't either. I think if we get Delap, it's Delap and Jackson next year.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, I'd agree. I don't think they'll be getting 2. Yeah.
I think it's Delap beats Jackson to be the main man come this.
I don't think it will be Delap though. I think Delap's going to go to United. I'm okay with that as well, but I don't know. I don't think it will.
Really? I thought you loved him.
No, I do really like him, but I don't like him in the way where I go, would you start? Would you 100% start? Because I'm looking at, I actually think they probably will go through with like Aussie Man or something. I actually think they will go a bit more. Now we'll get some proper like steel that we know works for now.
Chelsea or United?
No, us. I actually think, I don't know. Maybe I'm being hopeful. I just think they will slightly tweak what they're doing to an extent.
I don't believe that these lot will break the thing for Aussie.
But I think So here's the whole.
I think
here's
he'll
where
bring
my
it down
whole
after what happened.
Yeah, and here's where my whole optimism
Fingers
comes into
crossed.
place, right? If we get Champions League football, that's enough of a needle mover to say to this ownership and to these sporting directors, something has to change now. You're now in a different echelon, a different level. You have to spend in a different level, not necessarily transfer fee wise, but you have to bring in different quality to help us be competent and consistent within that level. You can't keep doing what you're doing, because it's like when a team gets promoted to the Premier League and they don't try to structure themselves properly to stay in the Premier League. We can't afford to get to Champions League football, not spend the money or not spend well enough to compete within Champions League football and maintain that, because you're just going to fall back to the wayside again. So that's why I'm
But do you not
optimistic,
think-
because something has to change.
Wouldn't it be the opposite though? Say, for example, we get top 4 this year as we're expecting. Will they not say, "You see, it's working"? We go again.
You
Like,
realize this?
you just doubled. You
No.
just double down.
No,
with what
because
you
the
just
ownership
doing.
has never gotten Champions League football themselves.
Exactly. So we don't. Very good point, bro. We don't know. It's what I was saying to Nina earlier, right? I know a lot of people are skeptical, including myself, about Clear Lake, because people think I just back everything that these guys do. But if you actually go listen to my fucking, my takes and that on these guys, a lot of the time I crash it on them, bro. Right? I crash it on these guys. I criticize them and I praise them in certain aspects that they've done. And there's certain things that I like that they've done, like bringing in a set piece coach, completely eradicating that disease of a medical department, and bringing in these guys that have been able to keep guys like Neto fit. Yeah, I'm telling you, bro. If we had the old one and Poch as well, Neto wouldn't have survived.
Oh,
Neto
God,
wouldn't have
bro,
survived.
gosh, facts, bro. Facts.
Neto's hamstrings last year, tracking back with that midfield gap would have been like.
Oh,
would
you
have
know,
been-
Neto's
it
been
would have been-
relatively fit this year. Oh, I just realized that. Sorry.
Yeah.
bro. It would have been raps, bro. So there's certain things that I like that they've done in isolation. But does it mean that I think they've been successful? That's what people like to do. Oh, so you're saying that they've been good then, yeah? That's what you're saying then, yeah? No, I'm not saying that at all, right? How they'll be good is we get Champions League football. You put your money where your mouth is, right? Because they keep coming out talking about, we haven't got a wage structure really. Like, it depends, innit? It depends on the player. If we think the player's right for the wages, we'll pay it. And for the Osimhen one, to be fair to them, Ornstein himself has come out and said, listen, there's many clubs in the Prem that think he's going to go to Saudi because he's asking for money that they don't value. They don't think he's worth that sort of money. So when I'm hearing Ornstein saying that about other clubs, even like including Chelsea, I'm like, okay, that sounds like an Osimhen problem rather than a Chelsea problem. If that makes sense.
Yeah. And it turned out to be true. Yep.
Yeah, it turned out to be true as well. So what I don't want this summer is to be, dragging out these deals and that on these players that you want. Your first target, you can't get over the line because you don't want to pay them the money, especially if we make Champions League. This year, there should be no excuses, bro. You bring in guys, you pay the money that they want, right? And you make sure that you're bringing in starters now. That's where we're at. Because, bro, Arsenal are 4 points above us, people. And I predicted them to finish second and to compete. They are 4 points above us right now. The gap is not mad. They've scored 2 more goals than us, right? We have the third best defense with mid-table centre backs and Sanchez in goal. We've got the third best defense, right? You know what I mean? We've got. For me, we've got the best midfield in the league. You got two
Easily.
There's an over 20 GA. Caicedo for me has been the best midfielder in the league, right? There's something to build from here, bro. So I don't want to be seeing nothing Tobes in the summer where it's like, this cap and that, especially if we make Champions League football. I don't want to be seeing that shit this summer, bro. We have to be serious.
Absolutely.
And just a point to give you, Tobes, before you go. Remember, we have the Club World Cup. So essentially, we get 2 transfer windows because there's one that you can bring in place before the Club World Cup and one after.
And big money from that Club World Cup. Like, there's a lot of money gone into that. Like, far more than other than the Premier League, Champions League. I don't even know I think the winning pot was like as high. It's nuts the amount of money that you generate from it being in it. But either way, like you said, being in Champions League, 1, the level of player that attracts, and 2, they need to understand getting in is the easy bit. Getting in again while you're playing in it is a different matter. Like, again, the level goes up. The difficulty of what we have to do next season goes up. So the difficulty of playing us has to go up. The team has to get better. And we already know that from this season. We need multiple first teamers. But, like, if they're, like you said, I don't want any pissing around. I don't want to see us bringing in more. At this point, like, we don't need all more kids. I know they've done like in the between January to now, Kenda and whatever, but
Mm.
like I don't need guys who are going to be here in 2020. Well, it's literally that guy won't even be here till 2026. I'm excited about Santos coming back. That already, that team will be better. I'm excited for Esteval, but like I want players that we're getting excited when it's announced, thinking he's starting. He has to be starting. Like signing and bear in mind, I know Jackson had a poor game against Liverpool, but he has lots of good games as well this season, and he is a decent player. But if we're signing someone where I go, oh, he's starting ahead of Jackson, I'm like, okay, now we're getting a bit more towards Drogba and Elka. Now we're moving. Do you know what I mean? Now we're moving a bit more towards what we want, and not players where you go, everyone here is just a part that we're trying to develop. Like we need now players, and now players are first teamers. So yeah, it's they have to get that right. It can't be. I think they know they got last summer wrong as well. I think even January annoyed me that we weakened the squad, but I think loaning Felix out, loaning Viega out, almost already said like, yeah, like we're not invested in these guys, and we only bought them 6 months ago.
Yeah,
so I think they know that. Like, same with like the Dewsbury Hall. He's not really kicked a ball other than a bit of Conference League. So I think they're aware of it, and that gives me a bit of hope that they will amend their policy a bit.
What do you think about this? Go on, Javon. Go, bro.
Yeah, and you know what's going to piss me off is that I was speaking to Robert, everyone's favorite guy, but he kind of made a fair point, right? Going into this season, we didn't really know what Fofana was going to be like, and what the partnership of Levi Colwill was going to be like as an out and out centre back and not as a left back. See, going into this transfer window, there's no what would this big guy be like if he's fit? There's no what is Levi Colwill like? You have clear-cut, definitive answers.
Evidence,
we give everyone, the whole fan base had a 50-50 war on what to do with Jackson. The fan base that wanted it, the part of the fan base that wanted to give him another season as an out and out striker, what? We have a clear, definitive answer now. So at the very least, give me 2 centre backs and a striker. But I cannot trust Levi. I still don't trust Levi Colwill.
Why?
Unless you're going to bring in a centre back that's a clear aggressor, and he's the one that's passing the ball out from the back, fine.
But you see, for me, it's you bring one guy. You bring the guy that replaces Fofana, and and you keep Trev. You have Levi. You have that new CB, and then Josh. Because the thing is, if you buy 2 centre backs, you're selling 4. Bisatti goes, Viega goes, Tosin goes, Badiashile goes, Levi's going. Levi will not tolerate. I'm telling you now, right? If people think Levi Colwill will be happy to be on the bench next year,
I don't care what he likes. He hasn't done nothing here, and he hasn't done anything here. Listen, I
think he's been good this year. I might be in a minority. I think he started the season well. He went bad, and then he's started again and been really good in the last 9 games.
Spot on.
I agree. I can agree with that. My issue is he cannot be the one that's the aggressor. He needs someone above him in the pecking order.
Oh, this is what you go by.
Let me ask you a question, Javon. Yeah, like because we forget that Colwill is 21 years old, right? And we know usually with centre backs they get better when they're like 25, 26.
Yeah, with age.
Yeah, with age they grow into their body, they get more physical, they get more experience and whatnot. The other day against Liverpool, bro, he was playing like Fofana. He was touch tight on man, bro. Every time that they were trying to get on the ball, he was tight onto a man. Yeah. Do you think that's an aspect of his game that Maresca can improve? Because ultimately, for me, I think he's a little bit too light. He's a lighty. You know, in England, in London, we call because he's a light skin brother. He's a light skin brother. We call them lighties. You know, lighties. When he's defending like a lighty.
Yeah. Hey, I thought you meant lightweight, and I'm just nodding along there. Yeah, like this white guy. Being like, yeah, we call him that.
See, you know, like Americans be like, they light skin man, like light skin dudes. He defends like a light skin dude. You know what I mean, right? Do you think he can be more rough?
See,
he can be more rough.
And that's the thing.
I'm getting cancelled.
And that's the thing. That's why I never said.
I can say it.
No, I was saying, I nodded. I went, yeah, but I thought you meant lightweight. So now I'm like, I can't what you said.
No.
So I was thinking, yeah, Colwill is a bit soft. Yeah.
See, that's the thing, because it's a both good and a positive. It's a positive and a negative, because I think he plays like that is an attribute to his passing. Because he plays that is attributed to his passing as well. My thing is, I don't want him to be the centre back that he's hailed to be at the club right now because he's not either ready for it or it's going to hurt his development. So if you're going to keep Colwill, his partner has to be the guy. His partner has to be, for lack of a better term, Van Dijk-esque. Aggressive.
But it's looking like we're signing Hoyson. It looks like we're going to sign Hoyson, bro.
Listen, I like Hoyson, but the centre-back position, the best centre-back positions are successful in peers. If you look at the best the best defense in the world, they always have an alternate. The guy that's going to clean up the ball, make the clean passes, and the aggressor that everyone's afraid to go 1v1 against. And then you have the guy that's just cleaning up and playing. Cole seems like the other guy for me. He's not the aggressor. He's not the one that you fear going up against. Even if you look at his 1v1 stats, every attacker tries to get at Colwill.
But does he really when you actually watch him though, does he really get cooked? Like, I don't really see Colwill getting cooked like that. Like at left back, I used to, yes.
Yeah.
But I don't really see Colwill getting cooked. I see lack of concentration at times.
He worries me in the air sometimes.
It's more,
I remember.
Yeah.
United away with McTominay, stuff like that. Yeah. I don't think I think it was we all knew we needed a centre back last summer. And the frustration was, and that wasn't because they're all bad. It was we know Fofana's knees. We know you're not going to get Fofana the whole season. It's frustrating because I actually think when you have Fofana and Colwill there, you're not really talking about the centre backs in general. Like it's a pretty decent part. It works in a partnership. They're young. You want to see them grow, but like the problem is that you never really get Fofana, so you do need another one. I don't have a problem with it.
I was actually going to ask the question, but go on, bro.
Yeah, I just think we're going through the phase with Levi now, where we went through with Cucurella, where we went through Enzo, where we went through with Caicedo. It's the sexy thing to say right now. He's not good enough. We can't have him in the team. We need to sell him or we need to replace him. When in reality, we're going to look back at this in 12 months' time and we're going to say, oh, Levi Colwill is one of the better centre-halves in the league and he's a top 4 quality player. And I think this is just natural progression because the same thing happened with Enzo. And now no one even mentions Enzo's name. It's like he doesn't exist.
I was championing Enzo though the whole time.
Same here, bro. I was called an Enzo sexual, whatever that fucking means. You know what I'm saying? I was called an Enzo sexual for all of these things and that. But end of the day, for me, this is why it's very important that we've gone on. Obviously, we're gonna look to bring back Santos. You've got Asugo as well that's coming back as well. Because listen, these centre backs, bro. As much as I want them to be good defensively, they also need protection in front of them, bro. It makes their job a lot easier. You know what I mean? You want your centre backs to have still in front of them. Like the best Chelsea's I've seen. As much as JT and that were good, very good defenders, of course, there's no debate there. But they still had the Makeleles, they still had the Matiches, they still had the Kantes in front of them to help them out. You know what I mean? So we need more of the Caicedos, we need more of the Asugos, bro. Like you bring Lavia off the bench, you're bringing on the Santos, you're not losing that aspect of the game. You bring off Caicedo to rest, you're playing Asugo. Because what I don't want next season, Alexis, I'm telling you, bro, I don't want to be going into the next season, and we're throwing away the other competitions, the FA Cup, the League Cup. This year, we threw it away. Maresca, we played Newcastle. That team was a mess. Yeah, we had so many chances in that game, but again, individual mistakes. But if you look at the lineup, it was a mess, bro. Right? Who else did we lose to in the cup? We lost to
Brighton. It was that back Brighton, wasn't it?
Brighton again. Yeah, that game it was a mess in that game as well, blood. You know what I'm saying? That's the type of game where I'm like, I don't want to be starting the Sancho. You've got a high line. Mudryk would love this, but he's not there.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Someone like that. Yeah. You know, so we need to be going into next season prepared on all fronts, bro, because we can't be throwing away cup competitions again, Alexis. You know what I mean?
Genuinely, I think we are in a position this next year where midfield sorted. I don't want to see any more. Like we're getting links with here and there players. I don't want to see it. I like the 3 we already have: Asugu and Santos sorted. I think Palmer for the 10, and maybe you either reintegrate Carney or you add someone.
Well, Esteban seems to fancy himself as a bit of a 10 as well. So exactly, you don't know how
you know, like, and Sancho can play in the 10 if he stays. I just think if we get a 9, like an experienced 9, if we get that centre back Jadon's talking about, and then Petrovic in goal, like I don't mind the team, you know, like, and then from there onwards, it's about how much ambition they have. That's the non-negotiables for me. Do you know what I mean? Someone needs to replace Bob and goal. I need a proper 9, and I need a centre back. And after that, whatever you do is a bonus.
No, 100%, bro. You know, any of you don't want to add anything more to that, Javon?
Oh no. I just want to clarify. I'm not saying Colwell can't become the defender he's supposed to be, but with his age and his current development, give him someone that's reliable.
Yeah,
because he plays week in, week out. Give him a defender that plays week in, week out, so he can solidify that partnership. You know.
Do you think Trev should stay?
A permanent one, like you said.
Yeah. What, Alexis?
Do you think Trev should stay?
Yes, 100%.
For me,
I prefer him playing to Disasi and Tosin personally. So,
yeah.
Again, I don't think I don't think if you want to evolve, I don't think he should be starting. But he is capable of having good games.
Yeah,
I mean, I don't. Yeah.
The thing about him, right? He scares me. I don't trust him. And from the moment I don't trust you as a centre back, it's long. You know what I mean? he's never too far away from just having a bozo moment, bro. Right? He came back in January, and I can think of so many goals that he's been a part of, and I'm like, that is some poor defending. Because, bro, we need to remember, like, he's not a kid. He's got a lot of experience now, you know. Like, he came through as a kid and whatnot. He learned from better players. He's been on loan a couple of times. Like, he's on the other side of his 20s now. Like, he's not a little boy. So I expect better from him. But end of the day, his quality is squad player level, you know. And I think he's going to
a good. Like I said, a good squad player. But for me,
and you need those. You need those.
We need. I want Operation Bring Rudy home.
I would rather give those minutes, to Josh instead of keeping Chalobah. I think Josh has a higher ceiling, bro.
I get that. Yeah, I hear that.
I get that too.
I hear that too.
That's what.
But equally, it's like I'd rather Chalobah get Tosin or Disasi minutes, but I'd rather Josh get Chalobah minutes. But in an ideal world, it wouldn't be like them starting. You know what I mean?
Get rid of Tosin and Disasi, and then the pecking order kind of shifts. You know, kind of moves up. Because I really think a player like Chalobah should be the replacement defender if you want to give a Colwell or the new defender a break. He can come in and do a job. I don't want to say, okay, I have to go to Disasi or Tosin or Badia Shield at the moment. You know, I think his pecking order is just right below starter, but not a consistent starter, in my opinion.
Let me go through the lineup for today, just to finish off, and we'll briefly touch upon Newcastle as well. So Jorgensen, Gusto, Tosin, Badia Shield, they seem to have a good partnership in this competition, to be fair. Cuckoo starting, Josh, Reese, Walsh. To be fair, bro, this guy, when he came on, man, banged it in with his first shot, you know.
Oh, mate, if that shot had got in, yeah.
Bro, that would have been mad, because that was a strike as well.
He's the youngest ever player to play for Chelsea in a European competition to start today.
Boy, he must be good. He must be highly rated, because that is not easy, bro.
He's 16 and 200 days. I just saw the stat. 16 and 200 days.
It's funny. I saw a video Chelsea put up last week, of they were doing the rondo before the game, innit? Actually, not in training. And this Whoosh kid, bro, the tech. You know, these rondos aren't easy with professionals, bro. Man will just, the ball's coming to me, just popping it. And I'm like, yo, this guy looks techie, bro. But yeah, Whoosh, Dewsbury Hall, Sancho, George. What we saying about that lineup, Tobes?
I'm just deep in the fact that we're in a European semi-final and we're starting a 16-year-old for his first ever game. As in, like, just think about that. We're playing a European competition in the semi-final, and we've gone, we'll just start a 16-year-old. Why not? That's insane. Good on him. Good on him. I hope he bags.
Wait, we've got three right backs starting.
The only surprise is Cucurella, maybe, but equally, I'm kind of like, well, would he put Paddy Shield there and play? I don't really know what he'd have done. He's the only first teamer that I thought he'd rest for, obviously, Sunday. But he'll probably hook Cucurella off after about 50 minutes if there's, if it's 1-0, 0-0 or something anyway.
I hate being this guy. Doesn't this tell you what they think of a Mugu? Like,
oh my god, yeah. What was that signing?
Like, there's not, like, he just doesn't exist. We saw him for 3 minutes, and I literally said, this kid is not it. Because his touches were horrible. I got cooked on Twitter for being negative, and we haven't seen him since.
That was his first game. Come on.
I feel sorry for him like that, because it's like, I guess you've bought him to loan him to hopefully sell him on or develop him. I don't know, but like, it's just why did you do it that late so you couldn't loan him out, or why didn't you just wait till summer and let him crack on at his club? I don't know.
I don't think it's bro. I managed to watch a lot of his games, bro. And listen, I'm not saying he's as good as Musiala, but bro, the way he was twinkling his feet at times, bro, he's very twinkly. Like he can his actions, he can make like 3 actions in the space of 2 seconds, bro. Like 1, 2, 3, boom, he's gone. You know what I mean? But there's times where he can be a little bit erratic in that. So that's maybe why Maresca didn't trust him. But I thought he was someone that can bring a lot of energy to the team, and that unfortunately for him, he hasn't really had a look in. Next week we'll speak more about James, because I want to speak about that more, about the whole situation right now. People saying, "Oh, this guy is gonna get, not gonna get played," and that. I don't really look at it like that. But that's a stream for in itself. So we'll save that one for next week. Obviously, it's starting today. But just to finish off, yeah, boys, how are we feeling about obviously at the weekend against Newcastle? Like, do you think we're gonna beat them, Javon, bro? Like, we don't like going to that place. We don't like that place.
Well, we don't like going to that place. Said on All You Can Eat Chelsea that let's put aside what the opponents are and who the opponents are and how they've been playing. We have to go in with the mentality that we just need to handle business, whether that's a young Liverpool or a top tier Newcastle. We have to go into each game with the mindset that we're going to win this and this is on us. With that being said, I think we're going to win. And on another note, I think it's going to be a very entertaining, competitive game. So 3-1 Chelsea.
I mean, last time we played them, we had Lavia in that fit, and we beat them 2-0. One of our best performances this season, Tobes. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm positive about the weekend. To be honest, it's a must not lose, is the way I look at it. Like, we can't afford to lose that game, and I don't think we will either. To be honest, I actually think with Lavia, we are. I think with these players fit that we currently have, we are a better team than them. I know that they are. They've got a great striker. They have got some good. They've got good midfield. Gordon's good when he's on it, but I do think in general we are better when everyone's at 100% or whatever. I also, it sounds weird because if this game was at night, or if it was like 5:30 Saturday in the winter,
yes,
or if it was Monday night, I'd be like, could be long. But 12 o'clock Sunday morning, they're still all asleep. I'm kind of like,
they've been.
Do you know what I mean? Honestly, St James's is you do not want to go to St James's Park 7:45 on a Wednesday, 8 o'clock on a Monday. You do not want that.
It's true, bro.
So I'm happy about this.
Let me read some of the injuries right now, Alexis. Yeah, they've got Lewis Hall's out for the season. Jamal Lascelles is out. Target is out. Joe Linson's out. Jamal Lewis is out. Shaw out. Trippier out, bro. So they've got quite a lot of injuries there. And I'm looking at Chelsea. Touch wood, no one gets injured in training. It looks like it's in Cuckoo. I don't think he's injured. I think he's just done. I think they've said to him, yo, listen, we can't really up your value anymore. It's not going to drop anymore. Let's just, make sure.
Pack your bags, mon ami.
Yeah, pack your bags and even go back to France if you need to. You know what I mean? We'll bring a little, what's the word? What's the word I'm looking for? What's that thing where you projector? You project someone on the screen. It's not even him.
Give a little presentation.
Yeah.
There's cardboard cutout at Cobham.
Yeah, and we've got Gil that's on the verge of coming back as well.
No, he's back to he's fully fit now. Maresca said he might be in this game. Let me see if he's on the bench.
I'm not on the bench.
I'm actually proper gutted for him because in the spell where Jackson was out, it was so there for him to at least develop, and it looked like he could, and we were all kind of on the verge of Jackson was a bit out of form. We're like, give him a go, play him a bit more. And I think did he start? He either started or he came on.
He came on and scored.
He came on off the bench. Yeah. He came on off the bench.
And he played well, and it was like, all right, let's give him a run. And then I feel sorry for him this season.
100%. How about you, Alexis? How are you feeling going into the game, man? Do you think we're going to beat them?
Well, when I saw it was 12 o'clock on a Sunday, I was like, beautiful. It's not even an all eyes on me slot. Everyone's still hungover. Like, everyone went out on the Sunday night. I hope the players, the Newcastle players and our players just turn up and just go, you know what? Give us a draw. We'll both take 1 point. It'll be in our own hands, and let's keep it stepping to next. I think we get a 1-1 draw, and I think that's progress for this team because it's a place we don't normally win. I think out of our last 12 games there, we lost 8.
A win would feel big, though. I'll take a draw. If you said to me now, would you take a draw? I would, but a win for me would feel like beating Liverpool, then beating Newcastle, having won the 2 previous as well. After that Ipswich game, I'd be like, fair play, you lot. Like, fair play.
And then go beat United on top of that, and we're cheering for the last.
And then it's done exactly. Then it's like Forest. You just
Yeah.
Well,
You know what I
can-
love
we-
about
we
that
can-
United
We can
game?
manipulate that
It's a
game to
night
get
game.
Newcastle out.
It's a
Yeah,
night game,
yeah.
Friday night at the
Bridge.
bridge. It literally could be a great atmosphere. Go and get the job done. So honestly, if we win that game 2-1, I'm telling you now, I'm going to be buzzing in the group chat, walking somehow. I'll work it out. I'll get the technology so you see me walking in there.
Boy, listen, for that game, hey, I'm actually flying out to Ibiza on Sunday, bruv. So I'm going to be watching that. Hopefully the weather's going to be good there. So man can watch that by the pool and that, have a little cocktail there. I don't know if I'm in my soul.
Man, with the shades in that beaver?
Shades and that, you know what I mean? Yeah, watch out. Look out for that vlog, people. You know what I'm saying? But listen, I don't know if I'm going to be drowning in my sorrows or if I'm going to be buzzing because we've beaten these, man, because it's been a minute. Yeah. And, you know, every time we go to Newcastle lately, I feel like we don't have a fully fit team. Like, I remember last year, we went there, the way Poch set us up, we got battered 4-1. That was straight after the international break. I think that same week, we lost to United as well that same week, bro. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, we need to make sure, man. We need to make sure because right now we're on good form. Palmer had a very good game the other day. We haven't really spoken about Palmer much today, but he had
I was gonna say that's a turning point.
You know, so you know, I'm hoping that he can do the same, man, because he will know himself. He hasn't been the same Palmer this year. You know what I'm saying? And for me, it's mainly been the intent on the ball. The other day, I actually saw him actually intending to take people on, intending to run past people, not just stopping the ball and cross. You know what I'm saying? So boy, he's got to make sure that he turns up, man. Maresca as well. He's got to make sure. I think he'll probably go with the same lineup. Pack out that midfield, invert Caicedo. It's been working.
I think we got our Palmer back though. I did feel that when I was watching Liverpool. It was like, oh shit, there he is. Where have you been for like 3 months? Where's that player been for like 3 months? Just like
100%.
trying stuff. Because that was what was so good about him. He's so just, fuck it, I'll go for it.
Yeah.
And like that near posting that he tried where he caught Alisson out, that's what he would have done, you know, the first year and a half.
If that had went in.
Oh, mate.
To this day, I'll be raving about it. Next year, to this day, I'll be raving about it.
That would have been crazy, bro. But listen, people, it's been a great show, man. Great first show today. Back to the Chelsea breakdown. We'll try and bring this every single week, of course. But sometimes availability and that. So I'll see when these guys are next available. Probably be on a Thursday now. Maybe even Sunday sometimes. It just depends on what everyone's availability is. Yeah. But listen, make sure that you lot are subscribing to Alexis. Big himself up. You touched 40K the other day, innit?
Yeah, man, 40K. Like it's been honestly 30 to 40 took so long. But when it finally happened, like I genuinely felt really relieved, if anything. But no, anyone that wants to come over and subscribe, short form content, basically on the train, check it out, enjoy yourselves, and leave a nice comment. But subscribe to Don and hit the like button here as well.
Make sure, people, man. Make sure. Tobes, love for hopping on, man. Big debut from you, man.
No, right, mate. First to Benny. It was good fun. It's good. We haven't done it in a while. It was nice to like break it all down. And it was nice to come back and we're not like, because in recent weeks it felt very after Chelsea be on and you're like, oh god, no, we're on again. But at the moment, I'm looking forward to watching us again, so it's nice.
100%, man. Javon, big yourself up, man. Let them know where they can find you, bro.
Please follow, like, subscribe to me at the Final Whistle Podcast. On the road to 2,000 subscribers. Just dropped a new video. Just dropped a new episode of the Sideline View. Check that out, or we get into some deep discussion around Chelsea. So check that out.
Make sure, people, man. But listen, tonight, let's make sure that we win. And whoosh, I want to see you bang one in today, blood. You know what I'm saying? In a bit, people. Bless.